my channel. I hope you're all having a magical start to your day. I'm here today with a very exciting video because it is my first ever collab here on YouTube. Today I'm going to be collabing with my internet friend Max, aka MrCheEZYPOP, and I highly suggest checking his channel out when you're done watching this video because he puts out amazing Disney content. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 4 different DIY Mickey Mouse shaped treats that you can make at home. And over at Max's channel, he's going to show you where you can get those Mickey Mouse shaped treats in Disney World. So if you're in the Disney area, check out Max's channel because he'll show you all the places you can get these treats. And if you're not near Disney like myself, well, just stick around for my video because I'm going to show you how to make them at your house. This might be my favorite Mickey Mouse shaped treats video in this series. I'm so proud of the way all these came out. They're amazing, they're delicious, and they are so much fun to make. If you have any other questions or concerns, just ask them in the comments below. And without further ado, we're going to get right into this video. To make these macarons, you're going to want to crack open 3 eggs and separate the egg yolk from the egg white. You're only going to want the egg whites for this recipe. Throw your egg whites into a stand-up mixer. If you don't have a stand-up mixer, a hand mixer will work just fine. And you want to just start to beat your eggs. As you're beating your eggs, you want to add in half of a cup of sugar gradually, as well as any food coloring. Beat your eggs until stiff peaks form. In a separate bowl, you want to add to a sifter 1 cup of superfine almond flour as well as 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, and you just want to sift through that so you can avoid adding any clumps into your batter. Add your dry ingredients into your wet ingredients and start folding them all together. Try not to overmix this because you want to keep as much of the air in this batter as possible, so again, just fold, not mix. Add your batter to a piping bag and start piping out your macarons onto a silicone baking sheet. I bought mine at Michael's for about $5 and I just buttered down the surface. P.S. To create the Mickey Mouse shape, I just piped on 1 larger circle on the bottom and 2 smaller circles on the top for his ears. Very important to smash down your pan onto the table about 10 times just to release any of the excess air bubbles. After your macarons have set for about an hour, you should be able to touch them without any of the batter getting on your fingers. Then you just want to throw them in the oven at 325 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes. And this is what they look like when they come straight out of the pan. And the very final step is to add in your icing or your frosting. I'm just using a vanilla buttercream frosting, and you want to take your 2 macarons and you want to sandwich them together. And this is what my final Mickey Mouse shaped treat looks like. I am so happy with it. It is beautiful, it is sweet, it is delicious, it is just everything. For these chocolate-covered caramel apples, you're going to start off with whatever kind of apples you like. I'm using Granny Smith apples, and you just want to jam in either a popsicle stick or a cake pop stick or a lollipop stick right into the center of the apple and then set it off to the side. Next, on a stovetop over medium heat, you want to melt up some caramel cubes, and I just added in 2 tablespoons of water into the mix so that it would melt a little smoother. Take your apple, dip it right into the caramel, and then allow the excess caramel to drip off into the pan. Place your apple on a wax piece of paper, and while the caramel is still a little tacky, you want to add 2 marshmallows to the top to act as Mickey Mouse's ears. Then you want to place your caramel apple in some melted chocolate, and there's really no wrong way of doing this. Just make sure that the entire apple is covered in chocolate. Don't worry if it looks messy because we're going to kind of be tapping it down to make the chocolate look smooth, as I am doing right here. Once you have all your chocolate, you're just going to kind of tap it down and shake it so that all of that excess chocolate just drips right into the bowl. Before your chocolate hardens completely, you can add any additional sweet treats to this apple to kind of decorate it. I'm just using some rainbow sprinkles, and then I added some Starbursts that I cut in half, rolled to make them look like yellow buttons, and placed them right into the center. Place your Mickey Mouse apple into the refrigerator so that the chocolate will harden until you are ready to devour it. And here's my final chocolate-covered caramel Mickey Mouse apple. I am so impressed with this little guy. He was so much fun to make and even more fun to eat. I really love this treat because it is extremely customizable. You can pretty much decorate it with whatever you'd like. So do yourself a favor and make one of these and send me a picture on either Instagram or Twitter because I would love to see your recreations. To make these beignets, you want to start off with 3/4 of a cup of water along with 1/4 of a cup of sugar and half of a package of active dry yeast, and you just want to mix it all together and allow the dry yeast to soak up for about 10 minutes. While the yeast is activating, you want to add into a separate bowl 1 egg and then beat the egg a little bit. After you beat the egg, you want to add in a little bit of salt. I did about a dash of salt, about 3/4 of a tablespoon of salt. Mix it up again, and then you want to add in half of a cup of evaporated milk and again mix it all together. Next, add your dry yeast mixture into your wet ingredients and mix until everything is incorporated. Now it is time to add in your dry ingredients. You're going to start off by adding in 2 cups of bread flour into your wet ingredients and give it a good mixing. It is still going to be a little soupy. Don't be alarmed. We're going to add more bread flour in later, but we just have to do this in sections. So add 2 cups of bread flour, give it a good mixing, then add in 1/8 of a cup of shortening, and then finally add in 1.5 more cups of bread flour and mix it until your dough forms. When you feel like you can't mix your dough anymore with your fork, you want to go in with your hands and start kneading the dough. You should be kneading this for at least 2 minutes. I did mine for about 3.5 minutes, and you want to keep kneading it until a little dough ball forms. Spray down a glass bowl with some cooking spray, place your dough ball right in the center, and then wrap some saran wrap on top of it and allow it to rise for at least an hour, preferably 2 hours. You'll know your dough has risen when it is doubled or even tripled in size. Spread your dough out on a flour down surface to about 1/2 inch in thickness, and here comes the fun part. You want to take a Mickey Mouse cookie cutter. I got this one from a friend, but I know that you can buy these off of Amazon. They're relatively cheap, and you're just going to start cutting out all of your Mickey Mouse shaped beignets. Place them on another piece of wax paper and allow them to rise for an additional 10 minutes, and then you can start to throw them into the fryer later. Very carefully place your Mickey Mouse beignets in a fryer later. If you don't have a fryer later like myself, you can just do a pan filled with vegetable oil, and you want to fry these up for about a minute on each side or until they are golden brown. And finally, for the best part of this entire recipe, the powdered sugar. Sift on as much or as little powdered sugar on the top of all your Mickey Mouse beignets and enjoy. This is what my final Mickey Mouse beignet looks like. They were absolutely freaking delicious and definitely my favorite recipe in this entire video. I feel like this needs to be a staple in my house on every single one of my Sunday fun days. I really hope you guys get a chance to try this one out because I do not think you will be at all disappointed. And for the last recipe, we're going to make the signature Mickey Mouse ice cream sandwich. You want to start by taking some cookies and cream ice cream, placing it on a flat pan with some wax paper. Place wax paper underneath it and on top of it and just squish it down and then freeze this overnight. For the chocolate cutout cookie recipe, you're going to start off with 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and to that you're going to add in 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. I used dark cocoa powder, and then you want to add in a dash of salt and about a tablespoon of baking soda, and then you just want to sift this through so that everything comes out very fine on the other side. In a separate bowl, you want to add 3/4 cup of softened butter along with 1 1/4 cups of white sugar, and you just want to cream this together. You can use a hand mixer for this, but I decided to just use a fork and some good old elbow grease, which worked perfectly fine. Again, you just want to mix this until everything is creamed together. Once your butter and your sugar have been creamed together, you want to add in 1 egg and mix it together before you put it into your dry ingredients. Unfortunately, I lost the clip, but just add in 1 egg, mix it together, and then you want to start adding all of your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients and folding it all together. I found that using my hands to mix this all together was the best method. Do whatever you would like, but again, I just found that it worked best to just take my hands, get right on in there, and mix it all together until a cookie batter formed. The batter is just a little too soft to work with right now, so we need to refrigerate this for at least a ½ hour. So just take your dough, place it in some saran wrap, wrap it all up, and then place it right into the refrigerator. Take your cookie dough out, and then you just want to place it on some wax paper, and you want to roll your dough out. And here is round 97 of Allison really needs to buy a rolling pin and stop using wine bottles or beer bottles for this. The funny part is I don't even drink, but again, I just don't have a rolling pin, so use whatever you have to roll it out. And then you want to start to cut your cookies out. This next step is optional. I have a toast stamper that has a Mickey on it, and I thought it would be cute to place it right in the center as I'm showing here, but this is completely optional. You do not need this, but you will need a cookie cutter that is Mickey shaped. So I did the stamp in the middle, and then I did the cookie cutter right around it to just make a really fun Mickey Mouse shaped cookie. Bake these in the oven at 350 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes, and when you take them out, they'll be a little bit softer. These are not as hard as the normal cutout cookies. They are a little bit softer, which makes them absolutely perfect for ice cream sandwiches. Before we can assemble our ice cream sandwiches, we need the ice cream. So take your ice cream right out of the freezer, remove the wax piece of paper, and use the same exact Mickey Mouse cookie cutter that you used for the cookies and start cutting out some Mickey Mouse ice cream shapes. And finally, we're going to put our Mickey Mouse ice cream sandwich together. So take one of your chocolate cutout cookies, place it down, take your Mickey Mouse ice cream, place it right on top of the cookie, and this should be exactly the same size because typically cutout cookies do not expand in the oven. And then finally, take your last cookie and sandwich it on top. And here you go, your very own homemade signature Mickey Mouse ice cream sandwich. This is definitely one of my favorite treats to get at Disney, and now I have my own recipe to make at home whenever I'm having that craving. And that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below, and please head on over to my friend Max's channel to check his video out. He worked really hard on it, and I think you guys are going to love it. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support on my channel. I hope that you're having a beautiful day, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye guys!